here we are in Santa Monica in Los Angeles, and this is my salon, Preece Salon. We have a great clientele. We're really, really busy. I'm really proud of the salon I have. I'm really proud of the people. It's really been a success story. But if you were to wind the clock back 20 years or 25 years when I came to America, it was a whole different story. If you'd have met me then, I don't know whether you'd have thought that I would be successful. You know, I had a lot of struggles, a lot of personal struggles. I had a lot of substance abuse struggles. 25 years ago, La Brea and Sunset was just like uninhabitable. And it was a 2-bedroom apartment and 8 of us lived there. So I basically lived on the floor in this apartment. I had to wait 3 months with no money to take my test. And so I lived on the floor, and I had my section of the floor surrounded by clothes. There was no mattress. I couldn't afford a mattress. I couldn't afford anything. I had nothing. And I used to go to Ralph's and buy a loaf of bread and buy 2 cans of beans, and that's what I would live on. I really, really had a tough time. At one point, I felt like making a sign and standing on the side of the road with a sign because I had nothing. I went down to the state board and I took my license, and it took 3 months, you know, and I went there and they wanted me to know how to do a manicure and how to do a facial. So I was just like, I can't do this. So basically I failed my test because it had nothing to do with hairdressing whatsoever. So I had to wait another 3 months. Over the next 3 months, I managed to get a job, and I earned $150 a week, and I gave most of that to my roommates for rent, for back pay and rent. And then I had a mate of mine say to me, you know, my wife is a Stevie Nicks' dress designer, and she keeps her dresses in our 2-bedroom apartment. But they're going on a world tour, so they're going to be gone for a year. Maybe you can come and live in the apartment. He said, I said, I can't afford anything, you know, it's like I'm paying back these guys, and it was like real tough times. But he said to me, how about $150 a month? And I went, done. So for $150 a month, I lived in Beverly Hills in an apartment that Stevie Nicks paid the rent for, and I had a pool. You know, I was golden. And then, you know, things started happening for me. I started hanging out with a bunch of celebrities, and I started hanging out with, you know, a lot of A-list people in Hollywood. I started going to all the bars and all the clubs, and things started happening. But then I developed a drug problem. This went on for a few years, to the point where I hated myself again. And I was in a place where I didn't want to be this person that I'd become. I'd become this drug addict. Would book myself something for the weekend because I knew that then that would be a week before I did any. And I did that over a period of a year, and it became, you know, I wouldn't do something for a month, then it would be 2 months, then it would be 3 months, and then I eventually went about 6 months, and then when I tried it again, I didn't like it. And I didn't like the way it made me feel. And I was, you know, I thought, okay, I'm winning now, I'm winning. And this was maybe over a period of about 2 years. And I had the realization, the massive realization in business that business is only really 20% of the relationship. The actual 80% of it is the relationship. So the reason why hairstylists that you don't think were very good are really busy is because of their personality, their connection, and their relationship. So I started seeing, as I was kind of healing from getting off drugs, I started nurturing my relationship. It's about relationships, it's not personal. And if a client comes in and they're a little controlling, it's only because they're in fear, because they've experienced maybe a bad haircut, or they're experiencing a bad day, or they feel that they need to be in control of every part of their life, and this is just another aspect of their life. And people who feel that they need to control everything generally come from a place of fear. So once I'd worked that out, and it stopped being about me and started being about you, then I was able to expand my clientele and expand my vision, and that's when I started to grow. I asked the question, why do people do this? Why do people travel to a completely different country to find what is it they're looking for? And it's happiness. All day long, I make people feel beautiful or people feel good about themselves. So even though it's not lasting, it is a big part of your life. It's a big part. You look at yourself every day in the mirror. And if you've got hair that you like and skin that you like and you feel good, then you're going to relate to everybody from a different place. You're going to relate to people. Your vision, again, doesn't become about you. It becomes wider. So the more success that I get, the more salons that we have, the more people that we can influence, then the more we're doing for society. This is what I tell myself every morning. Take one step in front of the other, and pretty soon you'll find yourself somewhere else. Keep moving forward, and pretty soon you'll be able to look back and you'll be like, wow, I used to be that kid 25 years ago that lived on a loaf of bread.